I've had several viewers recently tell me that although they like some of the firearms content, we need to get back to our roots here, survival on purpose. So in today's video, we're going to do just that, talk about one of my favorite topics, fire, and how to start a fire. We're going to take a look at 4 reasonably new fire starters and compare them against my tried and true that I've had for going on 8 or 9 years now. That's what's coming up next year on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me for a sort of a back to our roots video. We're going to talk about fire starters today. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare these 4 kind of new fire starters and use as a control the Mini Inferno from Self-Reliance Outfitters. I bought these from Dave Canterbury's store, gosh, probably 8 years ago. They've got some age on them. We're going to compare the Squatch rope with the ProCamp Tech fire starting rope with the Bigfoot Bushcraft fire plugs and the Blackbeard fire plugs. And it wouldn't be a classic Survival on Purpose video without neighborhood noise. So we got kids playing on one side, we got a potential dog barking on the other. So we're going to endeavor to persevere. Let's talk about these fire plugs real quickly, kind of give you the quick rundown on each one, and then we'll get to doing some of that fire stuff. So first of all, let me look at my notes here. Starting with the Squatch rope, this is a 6-inch long rope assembled in the U.S., it says, from hemp. It's waterproof, windproof, and non-toxic, has a 101-year shelf life, and up to 50 fires from this rope. It's $10 on their website, on the squatchrope.com website, plus $3 shipping. And you can get this on Amazon if you have Prime for $10 with no shipping. So that's pretty good. Next, we'll look at staying in the bushcraft, the Bigfoot genre, the Bigfoot Bushcraft fire plugs. These have a 5-minute burn time, a 10+ year shelf life, 2.7 grams per plug, waterproof and windproof and non-toxic, made in the USA and Colorado. They're made with high-performance jet fuel wax blend for hotter and stronger flames. These things cost $10 for 30 plugs, plus $3.20 shipping on the Bigfoot Bushcraft website, and $13 on Amazon if you have Prime. So no free shipping. So there's those. Next, we'll look at the Blackbeard fire plugs. They're proudly made in the USA. They're also windproof and waterproof. They list an 8-minute burn time, 30-year shelf life, and 50 plugs is $14 plus $5.30 shipping on their website. So that's $19.30 or $17 on Amazon. And finally, the ProCamp Tech fire stick, and it's also non-toxic, waterproof, and windproof, 6 inches long. Says it has a 101-year shelf life, up to 50 fires from the stick, and it's available on Amazon for $15. So, and then as a control, we're going again with the Mini Infernos. You can see these. There's 6 discs per 10, burns for 5 to 7 minutes per disc, 100% waterproof, extremely long shelf life is what it says. And these things are just $10 on Self-Reliance Outfitters. But if this is all you buy, it's going to be another $9.50, 56-cent shipping. At least there was for me. So you can get it for $19.06 on Amazon. So about $20 for 6 of these. So these are the most expensive of the crew here. And then finally, we're going to be using the Bushcraft Black to cut anything that needs cutting and scrape anything that needs to be scraped, and the Exotac Fire Rod XL to see if we can get a fire going here. So let's get to it. So we'll just start with each one, and we'll just see how long these things burn and all that. So this is a Squatch rope. We just cut a plug off of that thing, and it's pretty stiff stuff, like hemp rope. So we're going to cut a plug about the size of, you won't get 50 of these out of there, 50 fires out of this, but we'll cut this plug out here. I guess we might need to take the wrapper off. Let's see. And then, so it's got 4 strands of twisted hemp. We'll go ahead and fuzz these things up a little bit, like so. And see if we can. So we had about a 1/2 inch plug there. So then we'll take the old ferro rod here and see if we can get us a fire going quickly. There she goes. She's burning. So Okay, so we're just gonna move them over here together in a little pile and let them burn together while we start on another one. So we'll go ahead and take a look while we're going at the Protect Camp fat rope stick, and it says even the wrapper is non-toxic. You can use the wrap, cut the wrapper, and you burn it. But I don't know if we'll just see if we're gonna be able to cut the whole thing or not. Try to cut about another same half-inch plug. Pretty tough to cut it with the wrapper on it. Okay, man. Well, just to be fair, we'll cut the outer side off this, just like we did the other one. Open it up a little bit. This is a lot more strands in here. So let's see what we got here now. Okay, so we got it pretty well. I thought pretty well kind of fuzzed out, but it just didn't want to strike. So it certainly didn't strike as quickly as the squash rope. So we'll just see what we got now. Okay, finally we got a little burn going on here. Okay, we'll put that on there just to be fair. We'll let it sit over there and see how long she'll burn. So that's the Pro Camp Tech rope. Now let's look at some of these plugs. So we'll start with the Bigfoot Bushcraft fire plug, and it is it's one of these kind of almost like one of those Tinder tab type plugs. It says to break it in half, and then maybe we'll cut it in half. Doesn't want to break. Cut it in half, and then we'll just fuzz it up real good. Fuzz it up, and set it here and see if we can get that thing to catch a fire. And she caught really quickly. We're gonna move it up here, move it back here. Put those two together and let them burn. So that's the Bigfoot Bushcraft fire plugs right there. And it looks like the the squash rope is almost out. I think it might be out now. It's close out. Yeah, so we're pretty much, it's not all burnt, but it seems to be out. Okay, so we blew it back in. We're gonna let that count. Finally, let's go to the Blackbeard fire plugs and see if they look any different than the Bigfoot Bushcraft. And they are very similar. They're just yellow instead of pink. So see how well they do. Get them fuzzed up. I think they're going to do the same, if I had to guess. And yeah, looky there. Would you look at that? Okay, so there's those. Doing fine. Alrighty, so now we're going to call that one done now. It's not much left to burn. Okay. All right, still burning here on the Camp Protect rope, burning still, and so are the plugs. Let's get the old Mini Inferno. We're going to take a brand new one, although I think a half of one would be just fine. But we'll take a brand new one. I think we need to tear this thing in half. Try that. There we go. That's what we're supposed to do. And there we go. She's burning. So we'll set her there. While they're burning, we can talk about knife safety. Now, to be fair, I know none of them were wet. So probably what we're going to do now, as soon as these things burn up, we're going to try another one with them wet. Okay, we're going to call this as burn beyond effectiveness. So we're gonna call this one done. Think we might be done with this one. All right, so he's done. Okay, they're done. Okay, we're going to finally call this one effectively done. Okay. So let's start the second part of our test. Make sure the other fire's out good. And just get them nice and wet. Okay. Now, see how well it works. We'll start again with this one. We're going to start with the Camp Protect. See if we can get. Okay, there she goes. We'll go around here if I don't burn myself onto the squatch rope. I need to get a little more fuzziness going on there. Finally, okay, we'll go over here to we really got to break these plugs apart when they're wet. See if I can get some fuzz off of there. Try it now. Try again. Might have ignition. Nope. So we got plenty of sparks on this thing. So we can light it with a Bic. Maybe. Nope. Okay, finally, maybe that one's lit with a Bic. These are still burning. Let's see if we can get around here, get the other ones going. Tear this one open a little bit more. Got it all in my fingernail. Let's see. I don't know if we're going to do any good with that either. Nope. Maybe that one's caught now. Finally. Burning with a ferro rod. Look at there. Oh, yeah. Okay, so finally, after we got them all lit, still going pretty good. All right, I believe they're all done now. Let's just be safe here.
Chuck Norris once won an arm wrestling tournament with both arms tied behind his back.
All right, let's see if we can come up with a conclusion here. Right now, the camera has been running for about 35 minutes, so hopefully we were able to condense that down just a little bit for you. But let's give out my takeaway on these things. First of all, I got to say I'm really impressed with these Mini Infernos. These things have been sitting on the shelf for like 8 years, and they absolutely, my opinion, they won the contest. But they're also the most expensive at around $20 for 6 of them, so a little over $3 a piece. Certainly, you can carry them in half or in quarters. You don't have to use the whole disc to start a fire, depending upon what kind of conditions you're in. As far as the two ropes, I think the Squatch rope actually did better to me. It was easier to light. Seemed like it was easier to light when it's dry. When it's wet, it was harder to light. It did not light really, really well when it was wet. I finally got it with the ferro rod. Same thing with the Pro Camp Tech Fast Fire. It did okay when it was dry. When it's wet, it was a little harder to light, but I was able to light it with a ferro rod, no problem, and it burned just fine. It actually burned a pretty good while. As far as the plugs go, they both worked very well when they were dry. I thought the Bigfoot Bushcraft did a little better. It seemed like it burned a little hotter. Neither one of these, however, was I able to get lit with a ferro rod when they were wet. Again, one strike to the Mini Inferno. There you go. I think it's really important to have a way to start a fire, and I think the surest way of doing that is to make sure you have some sort of fire starter, commercially made or homemade, some sort of a ready fire starter with you. One thing I really, really like about this Fire Rod XL has these little Tinder tab fire plugs, similar to these, and they burn very, very well. And we've done a video on those before, so I'm not going to burn these up. But so if you have this with you, you have the ability to make fire at any time, and that's a really important ability. It also even this one has some duct tape around the outside of it, gives you some tape and a little fire extender there. So I really, really like this Fire Rod XL. It's not the cheapest ferro rod on the market, but I think from a usefulness standpoint, it's got you covered for having a fire. Everything you need to have a fire started is right here. So anyway, I hope this Return to the Roots video has been somewhat informative and at least moderately entertaining. I'd really appreciate it if you're not subscribed to the channel. If you click that little subscribe button, hit that notification bell, it just helps me out a lot. I really appreciate it. So thanks again for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.